All right, everybody, ding, ding, ding. We are back up in this thing. This is Trey Amazing, favorite part-time stripper, part-time megachurch pastor, but full-time dating commentator. And I'm here with somebody epic and special, someone that has been gracious enough to grant me an interview representing that Dallas, Texas, but now she is here in Atlanta. She is the media maven. She is representing the Mark Arum, the WSB Power Podcast, but also featured on Black, Educated, and Broke. Everybody know who I'm talking about. I have with me Miss Randi O. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, yes, Randi O. Hashtag you forgot everyone's favorite. And for clarity, I'm on the Mark Arum radio show. It's not a podcast where I do my little millennial magic game, but the other radio show is the Power Pod. So, tap in. Black girl magic happening.
Indeed, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and just let everybody know we're going to have links to your show in the description so people can find you in addition to your social media.
So make sure y'all tap in. Don't play with me. Okay, thank you.
Don't play with her. I'm telling you, that's a warning. So y'all got it. She out here representing Langston University. Ain't mad at that.
And listen, fun fact, this is the only HBCU in Oklahoma. So we are the mother chapter, a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay, what you thought? So yeah, there's that. All this black magic excellence happening.
Oh, I'm digging Black girl magic. It is popping on a pretty Atlanta day. And we're going to get this thing going because, again, I want to say thank you again to you for granting me some time for this interview because this is a special topic today. And I think that you are the perfect person to bring this topic to light for real. Because, just to give everybody some clarity, we talk about relationships, dating, and sex on this channel. We've had a lot of people, over the years I've covered people who, in terms of dating and finding love here in Atlanta, a lot of people are pessimistic, Randi. Not sure why,
I'm sure you're sure why, but fine, we'll go with your unsure why.
I got some thoughts, I got some speculations in the back of my head, but I ain't gonna put it out there. I don't want to sound, negative, but I've definitely heard some not so great feedback from people saying, oh, Atlanta, particularly for women, is not a great place to find relationships. It's not a great place to find love. Women outnumber men. I forget the ratio. Some days it's 12 to 1, some days it's 24 to 1. One day it was
giving facts, all of that. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hear it so much. I hear so much negativity from people who want to find their soulmate, who want to find their happy ending in terms of a marriage, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, but they feel like you can't find that here in Atlanta. Ain't no good men here. Or the men that are here who are single, they're either, cheating or they're playing for the other team or so many other factors. But I'm like,
yes, manipulators,
Exactly. I want you, and I know you got that energy, I want you to bring that positive. You can talk about why Atlanta is an awesome place to find a relationship. Why Atlanta, you can find your soulmate, and Atlanta doesn't have to be, this bad place where people can't find real love. So for you, before we really delve into the meat, kind of talk about your experiences as far as dating. I'm pretty sure you've had, good and bad, but what was in some of your dating experiences here in Atlanta?
Okay, well, for first, I've been here going on 8 years this past summer, so I definitely kissed some damn frogs, okay? Like, oh my God. So I will say that it was like a culture shock, because, being from Dallas, Texas, a lot of men, you got players everywhere, like, let's be clear, female players, guy players, but I was in long-term relationships mostly. Like, right before I came here, I was in 6 years. Before that, it was 2 years, so I didn't really deal with cheating and all this kind of crap, right? So when I came here to Atlanta, because I broke up with that 6-year relationship, because ladies, listen, he wasn't even down with Jesus. That should have been my first damn red flag. But when I came to Atlanta, right, I was like, you know what? I want to pursue my dreams, and I'm a person who prays, and all that stuff. And, I discernment was like, you got to let him go. So I cut that off, and I'm out dating. But I'm hella green when I get here. Like, I'm thinking everything like, oh, yeah, we're dating, we're having a good time. Hell, in my damn mind, if we went on a date, and, we've been kicking it for a couple weeks, I'm thinking like there's some exclusivity building. No, honey. I learned, no, bitch, you went from 10 to number 3. All right, so now it's 3 rotations. So that was a very hard adjustment for me, thinking that like when you're talking to somebody and it's seeming serious, it ain't really that serious, or it's serious with you and some other women. But the biggest thing that I learned here with Atlanta dating, you just have to communicate and know what you want, right? And I think a lot of women come here, you don't come here and search and look for a man. You come here to become the best version of yourself. And when you finally get in your head, which is what I did when I found my boo, who's been together going on years.
Indeed.
I had met him at a point where I was like, you know what? I'm not looking for a man. I'm not searching for a man. God, help me just to focus on what you want for me. Help me to focus on my career. Like, and it became, after that, things were like casual. If I date somebody, cool. If we had a good time, we had a good time. But I'm not looking for a long time. I'm not looking for shit, actually. I'm just living my life. And sure enough, you know, my boyfriend, I hit him in his DM first because as a observant Virgo woman, I'm like, this nigga looking at my story every fucking day. Like, I see his main head, boom, 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 boom. And the way the algorithm is set, whoever watch your stories the most, their little heads are gonna pop up first. I'm like, okay, who is this? I don't care if it's 200, I don't care if it's 2,000, I'm looking. And I noticed that he was a member of Omega Sci-Fi, and, you know, the case, love the brush. I mean, we love the nukes too, but, you know, it's just that pretty nasty thing we like. Anyway.
It's about the nukes right now.
So I saw he was like looking at my stories all the time, and I'm like, okay. So I DM'd him, hey, do I know you? Do we know mutual people? He was like, I mean, no. And I'm just like, that's all you gotta say when I go to your DM? And then his response was so witty and fun, and I'm like, okay, this nigga seemed like he may be all right. You know, he looked a little intimidating, looked a little hood. Let me just ask him if these grills and is it real? And when he told me it wasn't, I was like, all right, let's see. So, but with him, one thing that I did differently with dating Atlanta than I did before, I make sure these niggas was my friends first. Like, a lot of times we be so quick to go right into like we like each other and now we're dating and now we getting our heart fucking broken. So I'm like, you know, I'm not fucking on him, I'm not having sex with you, and we actually were friends. Like, you're talking to people, I'm talking to people, I'm telling them my dates, like we grew a friendship, and I never had done that before. I'm like, and they don't even know who I'm dating, we just gonna focus on, you know, me and him. But I'm like, Randy, that's what these niggas was doing in Atlanta. Acting like, oh no, when I'm with you, it's all about you, boo. And bitch, as soon as he not with your ass, he with somebody else, okay? So, with my boyfriend, that friendship helped us, I think, get just some solidness. It was getting out all the real stuff. You kind of knew about who I dated, what I've done, and it grew. It got to the point for me because sometimes these niggas in Atlanta is either too thirsty or not thirsty enough. And he wasn't thirsty. You gotta have a balance. You gotta pursue, but not like sweat, okay? You gotta like be cool, but not like nigga not responding to text messages in motherfucking days, okay?
Like pursue, don't stalk though.
You know, it's a balance.
No,
we don't like no
stalkers in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a lot of them like sliding, calling multiple times. How the fuck did you pop up where I'm at? So, but with him, right? But with my boyfriend, I felt that like he did enough, but I still had to like, I mean, nigga, like, did he like me or whatever? He's like, yeah, I know you like me. So it was just so funny. Once we discussed, we both had an interest, and that's another thing. We're on the same page. So you like on me, I like on you. And throughout our friendship, I was able to navigate and understand what is he looking for, what is he interested in. I'm like, okay, he had a place where he want love, he would like love, but he's cautious about love because of his last relationship. So knowing that and going into that and having clear communication, then we decided we wanted to be exclusive. I'm like, okay, what does exclusive look like to you? Because baby, when you talk to these people, I didn't know you need to be specific about what exclusivity is because it's not the same for everybody. And
like never, even that it would income exclusivity. What is cheating? Like, what is your version of cheating? What do you know? This is what I think cheating is. Everyone has different versions of it. So I've definitely learned you cannot assume. You can't assume that the person you're sitting across a dinner table with or in a relationship with that they feel the exact same way. You have to have those uncomfortable conversations, and they can be uncomfortable. But when it's all said and done, now we're on the same page. This is what cheating looks like to me. This is what cheating looks like to you, and we're both in agreement. Don't cheat or don't do this. So, but you said something interesting that I really want you to elaborate on that I found very enlightening. I wish more people would understand. When you got to a point where you realized you were focusing on yourself, building the best version of you, and that's when this person gravitated in your life, or that's when it became apparent who this man was for you and the future you guys are going to have, is when you stopped being, you know, it seems like some people find that person that they're meant to be with when they're not so hyper focused on.
When you're not searching, yes.
Right, like they don't wake up in the morning like, I gotta be in a relationship today, I gotta find my man or my woman, I gotta find this. It seems like based on what you just said, when you start focused on being, you know, the big media maven that you are now and growing your business, growing your brand, now this man is entered your life. And I think more people need to understand that because you got a lot of men and women out here who are ultra thirsty every single day. I'm looking for that, and I'm like, you're not gonna find them. You know,
which I get it though. It's like I understand the desire to find true love. I understand the desire to be loved. But it's like, as women and men, we just can't just get to want it so bad that we lose ourselves. And, you know, I've definitely been a victim of losing my damn self with one of these niggas here in Atlanta, you know, lost my whole damn self, you know. But it happens, right? And that's why you have to... I know I was heard in like this I go to a lot of women empowerment events, but they were talking about how, like, if you can't have a conversation, ask about, are you interested in marriage, or and he getting out, girl, he ain't the one from you, because you ain't even asking no crazy ass questions. But in the flip side, women, like, there is a time and a place, and it's like, definitely, you know, talk to these men and see what their focuses are and what they want. But delivery is everything. Because let's say you're going to date and you're like, okay, so I want to get married like in the past 4 years or 3 years or so. What about you? You want to get married? Like, you think you like me? Sis, doing too much. It needs to be more like, I mean, well, marriage is something that I hope to have one day. You know, if it's in God's will, it's what I want. What about you? It's all about approach. And that's another thing that I learned about how you say things, when you say it. But yeah, you're right. Listen, as soon, Trey, as I got to the point in my mind, like, you know, I'm no longer looking, I'm no longer caring, like, it's like, I feel like for me, it was a religious thing. You know, I feel like God just took all those desires out and then just let what come to me, come to me. And then because we were friends, it was easy to have those conversations like, oh, you want to get married? You thinking back here? You know, do you want to have children? Because it's like, you know, sometimes when you're dating already, you kind of, everything's more hypersensitive, right? So some of them questions you feel a little weird. But when you friends, oh, it's cool. I can just shoot the shack and tell I got the real him.
And when the foundation is important.
So I was like, okay, so you feel this way, this, and so we were able to build on it. So I say to women that say that Atlanta's not a good place to date, I used to think that until I changed my perspective. And sometimes, you know, you cannot change your location, but you have to change your perspective, change your mind frame. And when I put it in my mind frame, like, I'm not in here to get a man, because that's not why I moved to Atlanta in the first goddamn place. I moved here to better Randy, to get all the things that I wanted to do as far as, you know, with radio, television, film, acting, all that was my focus. Making sure it was aligned with God's, and that's what I wanted. And I'm like, as far as the man, when the man is right, he gonna come to me. And it's like, ladies, it's gonna come together. Because I don't want to always say the man gotta pursue and chase you. That's how you. It's a little bit of a two-way. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta be available for him to approach, right? But you know, I think a lot of times women are not mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically ready because you ain't ready to be with your damn self. Like when you're okay with being with your damn self, like you can be alone. You ain't gotta have no man coming over. You ain't gotta have no going out to eat with no nigga. Like. Take yourself out to eat, have your own place, enjoy your own time. You learn to respect you, and your value of yourself increases. Like, I'm that bitch, so I'm not limited for nothing less. I pay my bills, I pay this, I do that. Yes, I want a man. I do want to be married. However, let me make sure that I'm okay. Do I have to have a man to live? And if you get to a point where you can still learn to coexist or cohabitate, then I feel like it just makes it so much easier. Like, you sense the bullshit, you sense that he ain't with this, and you can just move freely. So I feel like that's what I did.
I got a question for you because it just hit me. It just popped in my head, but I think you are an awesome person to answer this, and I want your unmitigated, unfiltered, you know, reaction and feedback. Because if you've been on social media, it is so polarizing, this topic. What do you feel about women being asked, what do you bring to the table? Do you think that is a good question or a reasonable question for a man to ask a woman, or do you think it's not in his place, or it's not a woman's place to answer that? What are your thoughts when you hear about a man asking a woman, what do you bring to the table?
Well, I do feel like, you know, people have to remember this is not the 1950s or 60s anymore. Like, we're in 2023, and like Boosie and Webby, INDE, you have a lot of independent women where they no longer seem like they even need a man. They can do it on their own. Or you have this new generation of women that is so, artificial. It's feeling like it's surface level that, oh, he gotta have this much, he gotta do this and that. So it's like, so I get it from a man's perspective, like, damn, what the hell they want? Do they want to do it themselves, or they want me to buy them shit? Like, what do they want? So I don't think that it's inappropriate to have that conversation. But again, it's all about the semantics behind it. Like, you know, you're sitting here like, yeah, well, you know, I got this job, so what you bringing? Like, okay, who the fuck? Like, no, like, it's all about approach. But to ask, I think that is a fair question in this day and age. Here's what I'm bringing. What are you bringing? And like, for some women, you know, they always talk about my body. I can do this and I can cook.
I bring this BBL.
You know what I mean? But it's like that's cute and all, but it's like we got to think about like past surface level. What is your heart? Like, can you maintain finances? Like, are you a good budgeter? You know, do you have a prayer life? Are you good with children? You know, how do you deal when you have conflict? Are you a person that tell your friends like are you like they talk about peace? Can you really bring this nigga peace with all of that shit you got going on? So I don't think that's not a bad question. And then for men, the same thing. What are you bringing? Like, are you a superficial? You just show here's money because your insides are obsolete. You have nothing there, but it is just your money. Or what else do you have? Do you love kids? You know, are you really close with your mom? Like those are things that I think is respectful to ask from both parties, and it really makes you take a look at yourself like, damn, what can I really bring? And it makes people uncomfortable because nobody talks about what can they fucking bring. It's always what they can receive. So
oh no, I agree 100%. I mean, I've seen that on social media. I mean, it turns into a firestorm when women feel like it's inappropriate. A man shouldn't ask women that. And I've always had the mindset like, do you not like that question because you can't think of anything other than your looks and your sexuality?
A hit dog holler.
Right. I'm thinking like, because for me, I'm of the mindset, if I can ask that question, I can also answer it. We go. If I ask that question, trust me, give me an opportunity. I will tell you all the shit I bring to the table. I got no problem with it. But I've also had to clarify with people, when I say table, everybody looks at it differently. I'm not saying what can you bring and do for me. I'm saying what can you bring as far as the foundation of a relationship and one day a marriage. Like you said, like, you know, one thing if you're good at accounting, okay, we need someone to manage the money. Are you great with kids? Okay, we're thinking about having children. So these are things bringing to the table. It's not about what can you do for me, because I'm good.
Yeah.
But I noticed that, and that's the reason why I wanted your perspective, because again, you post that in a relationship group or a different kind of forum about dating, you know, what do you bring to the table? Oh, women they will eat you alive.
Yeah, it's like, why would, I just think it shouldn't be, I don't think it's nothing to get offended by, but I think also certain men, you know what you can bring. You don't have to have that conversation. If you spend enough time with this woman, you kind of get an idea of what she can bring too. So I mean, not to say that you shouldn't ask, but some things time is going to reveal any damn way.
Indeed, I agree. Okay, so talking about positive dating in Atlanta, or just nuanced dating in Atlanta, and you brought this up. I've only covered this one time, but I had the pleasure of covering an interview with my frat brother over AG Atlanta Greek Picnic.
Oh yes, T-Way.
You know, he granted me an interview, awesome interview, and he's just an intrepid brother all around. Atlanta, anyone who moves to Atlanta, especially if you're black, look, Atlanta is replete with black Greeks, okay?
You said it's what about black Greeks?
It's replete. It's so many black Greeks here. You can't, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely got caught up. I'm like, damn, all the bros know each other?
Yeah.
Ladies, be careful.
But in terms of, you know, the dating scene, even from a Greek standpoint, you know, what has been your, I guess, outcome? Because again, I've heard people say, you know, Dad, it's like Atlanta's full of black Greeks, and you know, you hear people say, well, I don't date nukes, or I don't.
Yes, I've heard that. I'd be like, and then the girls that say it, I'm like, shit, they're not even Greek, which that to me is just, it's a laughter for me. Like, girl, how you gonna say you don't fuck with the damn nukes and you not even divine nine yourself? But I have heard that. I know for myself, like, I personally like to date or be with someone who is another member of the Divine Nine, because I feel like we share a different connection that I don't have with people that are non-Greek. Not to say that it's bad or worse, but I feel more connected. You know, and when I came to Atlanta, I don't know, Dallas had a lot of Greeks too, so... but the Greeks here, I know that just for me in dating in general, I don't feel like they're as close and tight here as it is back in Texas. You know, I feel like it was a little bit more of a real sisterhood, brotherhood, and closeness. Like, you know, if I was talking to an alpha in Dallas and he knew this other alpha, oh, no, let me chill, you know, that's bro. Here, they didn't give a damn.
Oh, I can tell you first that people don't care.
Oh, he ain't my chapter, right? What they got to do with me? I'm like, but y'all was just like hippity-hoppity together. So I was like, it's a little bit of not really closeness here, but I mean, it's Greeks everywhere, but I just think, and this is what I want to say about Atlanta. It's not so much Atlanta as itself being this city that has the things that are not that good about dating. You have to understand it's the melting pot of a lot of wannabes who came here to become who they always wanted to be. Some, you know what I'm saying? So you got people from small towns that had no present, was no motherfucking body. Not to be disrespectful because everybody is somebody. But let's say you wasn't that nigga then. But you come to Atlanta, you're like you big shit popping and you're putting on this facade because you're trying to impress this illusionary shit that we go from social media just to the Atlanta life and being sexy, fine, this and that. And it's like, it's all fake. It's all fake. So that's why I think it's so bad, because you can only pretend for so motherfucking long before the real you come out. You're like, oh my God, you really a lame. Oh my God, you really been like scamming. You don't have money. Oh my God, girl, you live on a real fucking mattress. You ain't even got no motherfucking apartment. Damn. It's like, but I think that's because of a lot of the transplants, which, yes, I am a transplant myself.
As am I.
Okay, however, but my boyfriend, which I did feel like the people that were literally from here, because he's from Atlanta, they seem to be a little bit more solid in my dating experience. People that were born and raised here, they just got a different mind frame and perspective than people that moved here. So just put that. But I love the Divine Nine, but y'all a little messy out here in Atlanta.
Oh no, I can tell you. I've been a member of my org since 2002.
Up 2007.
Oh, there you go. See, shout out to Pretty Family. Shout out to the Noops and those pretty AKs. I ain't gonna talk about another AK in my life, but it's a different story. but when it's all said and done, you're absolutely correct. I've been here long enough, and I've seen hella mess. I've definitely heard that whole "he ain't my chapter brother," or "I don't know him," or he wasn't made, so he don't.
Yeah, don't get started in the paper maid stuff. Oh yeah. Lord, yes.
Oh, you hear? I'm like, damn, and for me, it's not just in my org. I've seen and heard this with a lot of orgs where there isn't a lot of loyalty in terms of that. If you don't watch, they will sleep with your girl behind your back. Yeah. Or or whatever. And so you're absolutely correct. I've never, the only time I've been to Texas, I've been to the airport on layovers.
Oh, boo, that doesn't count. And the Noops are big in Dallas. You gotta go pull up. I love the Noops in Dallas.
There you go. See, love the Noops. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, definitely. Those are my boys. That was my first pageant I did, Crimson and Cream pageant, at Langston University, where I won Miss Interviewer. I didn't win the damn pageant. My best friend actually won, who's a Delta, but Noops were the first one that showed us love on campus. Then the Brus and the Alphas, they kind of, because I'm like loud or whatever, and I would consider ghetto, whatever what the fuck that is. Anyway, but they was like, I know she can be an AKA. I don't know about her, nigga. My mom's a legacy. My aunt is like. And I'm out here at an academic fucking scholarship, you fucking idiot. How dare you try to think I'm so I never really got close to the alphas at my school. But I love the Brez and I love the Noops.
You got good taste. Okay, you gravitate towards 1911, great year. I'm digging that. So before we close out, and this has been an awesome interview because again, I want to shed some light on the positive aspects of dating Atlanta. I think you've done a great job. If you have the opportunity to talk with, another young lady, whether it be a soror or someone thinking about leaving Texas to come to Georgia, but they're caught up in the stereotypes and negativity about can't find love, can't find a serious relationship, what would you tell them? What would be some things you would say, look, these are the positive sides to dating in Atlanta. These are places you can go and make yourself available to meet good men or whatever. What positive would you tell someone who may be overcome with the negative stereotypes about dating in Atlanta?
Yeah, the first thing I would say to them is, for me, I believe that perception is reality. So if you're perceiving that people are literally, being cheaters, or the men here on the down low, oh my God, it's going to be hard to date, that's going to be a reality. You cannot speak that stuff. You need to come here with the open mind, knowing that you do not come here searching for a man. Come here or anywhere to relocate to better yourself, and just know when you are confident within you, you're gonna attract the sis. You ain't even gotta look for it. They're gonna be right boom boom in your face. You know what I mean? So I think that, make sure that you're not so focused on that. Focus on bettering yourself, allowing it to come. It's a lot of good men. It's a lot of good ass men here in Atlanta. Some men that maybe have been heartbroken, but they still wanna try, they're out there. And the biggest thing I have to say to my girls is y'all gotta learn a little bit of grace. I feel like it's a lot of high expectations of, well, he didn't call me back in 2 days, so, fuck that nigga, I'm done with him. It's just whoa. We've been talking for 2 weeks and he ain't took me on no date. Please get your expectations realistic. Get them aligned realistically. It's a lot of unrealistic expectations, and realizing that, again, y'all are two different people from two different backgrounds coming together to kind of create something. So you're gonna have adversity, you're gonna have differences, but if you want any sustainability, baby, it ain't always gonna be peaches and cream, because I could slap this nigga today if I could, but I still love him, right? So you need to understand, you're gonna have your up and downs, but you have to choose, who do I want to kind of go through this up and down with? It's not going to be perfect, it's not, but you can't be so ready to throw in the towel and be done, or else you will forever be single. So all of that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Randi O, thank you so much. But before I let you get out of here, I need you to let the viewers and subscribers know where can they find you on social media. Do you have websites if they want to listen to your radio show? How can they get more of Randi O?
Okay, yes, Trey. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, The Real Randi with the I, O, The Real Randi O, and that's Randi with an I because I'm not a guy. Okay, and then on my Instagram, I have a link tree, which will give you like my podcast, the radio show, everything that I have going. But I do want you to check out my podcast, Black Educated and Broke, hashtag, but not for long. Our website, we have our Instagram, you see all of the different shows. Also, PowerPod WSB, it's a news talk station. For the longest, I was the only black person on the show. And come on, holding it down. But I brought in my brother Mike B, who does Black Educated and Broke with me. So definitely go support us on PowerPod WSB. It's predominantly a 95.5 white station. So we need all our supporters and listeners, okay? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's how you can find all things with Randi, everyone's favorite.
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, thank you so much, Randi. Thank you. Everybody out there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Throw some comments down there. Let us know what you think. Make sure you follow. Make sure you hit that big old subscribe button. Subscribe to this YouTube
Is it right
channel.
here?
It's going to be, yeah, I can put it right there. I'm going to put a button right there. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We got more epic content on the way. Thank you again, Randi O. It has been a pleasure all around. Everybody out there, make sure you continue to follow Ringside's Corner Confession. This is Trey Amazing, and I'm out this bitch.
Peace.